I must thank all of you for attending this meeting. As I mentioned earlier, Sri Lanka's foreign policy is now to look towards closer relations with the Arab countries. So therefore, we have so far achieved part of it, but we are looking in the future to have closer cooperation with the whole Arab world. It's a part of our new foreign policy. On one hand, we are looking at cooperation with East Asia, Southeast Asia, and Australia. That's why we've decided to make an application to enter the RCEP. On the other hand, to look at the Arab world and also East Africa and South Africa, so that we are covering the whole region. Earlier, our focus has mainly been on Western Europe, but while we keep our relations in Western Europe and improve our economic ties, that it is Sri Lanka policy is to focus on these countries, and very soon, by next year the latest, we'll also be opening a embassy in Kazakhstan to replace the one that we had earlier in Kabul, so that we can reach out to the Central Asian Republic. And in these, we've always had long-standing relations with the Arab world, with the Arab countries, and we are looking in different fields of how we can further strengthen the relations politically, culturally, economically, and militarily. So we would like to explore those, and then I've asked the foreign minister to talk to you on how we can build it, and I will have the relevant ministers going across to do so. This month will give us the opportunity of laying the groundwork, and that's what we're looking forward to. Sri Lanka's stand on Palestine and the present Gaza war is very, very clear. We've always said that you can't wipe out a nation. For an attack made in Israel by Hamas, you can't make it an excuse to wipe out a total society that is living in Gaza. At the moment, Gaza has been simply close to being obliterated. So we want immediately a ceasefire in Gaza, and assistance must go to Gaza. Also, I must say that Sri Lanka in its own way will help and send aid to Gaza when there is a ceasefire. And furthermore, as stability returns, we will be prepared in our own limited way to build one school in Gaza. Far as the political issues are concerned, first and foremost, you have to remove the settlers from the West Bank. They say they want to remove the Hamas from Gaza, but I think before that they should remove the settlers from West Bank. That is important. Secondly, Sri Lanka doesn't think that going along with a Palestinian Authority is the solution. We have a two-state solution in which there is only one state. So as fast as possible, the Palestinian state must be recognized and steps must be taken to establish a permanent functioning government in those areas. So thus we leave it to the Arab world to get the different parties together and see how you get along. But certainly we don't think that a Palestinian Authority in the long can do anything much. Neither a Marshall Plan nor the proposal by the Israeli Defense Minister Galat that there should be selected Western countries and Arab countries that will rebuild Palestine together with Israel. No, none of those are on. We feel that today Israel and Palestine are creations of a mandate which the UN had when it was created. Therefore, you have mandated one country, you can mandate another country. And the United Nations should decide on a consortium that will oversee stability and peace in the region. It's not only Palestine and Israel, but it also goes on to Lebanon in our view. And these are matters that we have, certainly as far as we are concerned, this is our viewpoint on it. We also welcome the Saudi Arabian-Iranian rapprochement, which we think is good for the Muslim world and the Islamic world. There are two matters I want to mention. I was a bit disappointed by the reaction of the non-aligned movement in regard to this issue. It was virtually silent. Secondly, most of your heads of government or foreign ministers will be there in Kampala, and I think we should all look at one common strategy that can be followed. I have asked the foreign minister to talk to all of you. Now that we are all in Kampala, it gives an occasion for all of us, both within the conference and also on the side of the conference, to discuss what is happening. We should not let go of it. So this is our position, which I like to state very clearly. In regard, the matter had come up about the Red Sea, we are dependent on the freedom of navigation in the Indian Ocean. And we are dependent on the Suez Canal and others for Colombo to be a strategic location. Moment you close it up, then Colombo loses it. During the 7 days war, and for the about 7-8 years where Suez Canal didn't function, Colombo lost. Secondly, if you come through Cape also, the cost of goods go up, and that's something we can't afford now. So before any of these things became issues in Sri Lanka, we said we are standing by the freedom of navigation. Of course, India has sent ships. I think there are other ships by Saudi Arabia and all there. Unfortunately, we didn't have the capacity to send a ship by ourselves. And the Navy said if they are going in, they'd like to go with some cover, and that's why we've gone on to this. But on the basis that this is for freedom of navigation in the Indian Ocean, and we don't want any Israeli participation in the issue. So I hope you understand our situation also there. But in regard to this, we are prepared, and whatever measures that are being taken by the Arab world, we will support. And my view, we felt that Kampala should be a good place where everyone could get together. So I have asked Foreign Minister to talk to the others and find out what's happening.